For organizations who are wanting to get started with being more methodical in their decision making, can you maybe give me an example of like what you do first if you want to implement smarter?
What I've been doing with organizations over the years, which is they just want to learn the methodology. So I say to businesses, and I've done this for professional associations as well, is give me what your audience would call a use case. So give me a use case situation with that maybe a company has already gone through or they're in the middle of. Give me all the data. And then we take that in a workshop setting and we work through it with people in the audience. And we go through all the steps. Because until you've gone through all the steps and you actually are forced to kind of understand what each step is by practicing it, you don't have a really great feel. I mean, you can read. I wrote an article. I did this because I wanted to codify the methodology. So Cutter was really nice to publish this article for us. It's part of the resources that I gave people as well. And it goes through the methodology and what I've shared today and maybe a little bit more depth. But just reading it isn't going to get you very far. So I think the challenge for everybody here is mindset. You got to go find, if you think that this is worthwhile, you have to ask yourself, who else do I need to tell this to? Who else do I need to educate on this? And I actually wrote a chapter on this for women in analytics, kind of like how do you do the grassroots approach to this, is go find kindred spirits who believe that there needs to be a shift from a sole focus on data to a focus on decision making. Go find those kindred spirits in your organization, kind of, form your community of practice group. Either decide to use a methodology like ours that we've developed or create your own methodology or find a different methodology and tweak it. I don't care what you use. And then figure out which executives in the organization you need to influence. I mean, it's just like you would for anything else. Now, people might be saying to me, that's not my job. I was hired to do X, Y, Z. And I'd be like, anybody can do this. I have seen in organizations where a single person has caused tremendous transformation because they've gone and found the right people in the organization who saw the necessity and need to do something. And I think that this is the same way, but you have to have pretty savvy emotional intelligence, EQ skills, right? You have to know how to influence people. You have to know how to tell the right stories. And the right stories might be around decisions that we have made that have caused us a lot of havoc. I might be telling stories of pain, a lot of pain in organization.
Yeah, certainly if you're not good at making decisions across your organization, I'm sure it's going to be pretty painful, and certainly getting people to change how they're making decisions, any kind of change management stuff like that, it's got to be pretty brutal.
Right. But I think that even more so, we don't want to admit that we're not really good at decision making.
Absolutely. And I suppose very few people make every decision wrong, or at least like if that's happening on a corporate level, you're going to go out of business pretty soon. So I guess this is just about trying to improve your hit rate, trying to improve the fraction of decisions that are good ones.
Well, and I remember very early on in my career, the first CEO that I worked with when I was a consultant, so this would be 1988, I said that the beauty of it was that he walked in one door of a meeting room with the executives in his business, and I walked in the other door of the room. I was the new consultant that they had hired. And he said to me, because the business was a cash cow within the larger enterprise, huge cash cow. They were taking money out of it left and right and had for years. And he came in as the new CEO to tell them that they were about to go under, that they were no longer going to be the cash cow. He figured they maybe had 3 to 5 years, maybe 3 years, but that they were going to plummet and that they were going to lose everything. Now, how do you tell that message to C-suite, people who've been successful, right? And when he and I met separately for the first time, he said, Miss Silverman, I just want to let you know that for most CEOs, if they get a decision right, it's dumb luck. He said, we can't use dumb luck anymore. We can't rely on dumb luck anymore. We have to be much more methodical and rigorous. And we were in his organization, but we still could not move fast enough. And he was correct. We downsized that business tremendously. And I worked with them for almost 5 years, tremendously, because they took huge hits. And it was but at least he saw the handwriting on the wall and was willing to do the hard work within his enterprise, given what I'm talking about today.